Jonnie Peacock's here. Let's give a round of applause. Jonnie, it's lovely to see you. Oh, my goodness. And you've handed over your medal. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries. I'm not going to get it back.
Here it is. That's the first one I think we've seen here on BBC Breakfast,
yeah, we've
isn't
had
it?
a lot of Olympians on. It's the first Paralympic gold we've had on the programme.
And the thing you notice straight away, Jonnie, it makes a noise.
Yes, it does. I think that's for the visually impaired athletes.
Course,
yeah, I think, but it's kind of like a bit of a samba vibe to the medal.
It's beautiful.
So.
I'll hand it back because it's fantastic.
Great.
So many
Thank you.
congratulations.
Cheers.
Has it all sort of sunk in yet? I know there's a plane load of Paralympians on their way back. They arrive in about an hour's time. You've been back for a few days. Has it sort of washed over you yet what you've achieved and what a games it's been?
No, I don't think it does for quite a long time, to be honest with you. It was something like this for London. You know, you get whisked around, you just do things, and you just don't think. You know, I had a few days in Paris with my girlfriend, which was lovely, but it was more of time for me just to switch off from sport, just because this year's been so intense and mentally draining that I just needed a bit of a break. So I haven't actually thought about it that much. To be honest with you, this morning it's all kind of coming back to me. So, yeah.
Oh, talk us through the race, because you said it was tougher perhaps than London.
Yeah,
tell us about it.
Hugely. So in the build-up, you know, Jared Wallace, the guy on my right, had been running really quick times all season. He'd beat me previously in our race at the anniversary games. Now, unfortunately, there wasn't that many chances to race him this year. I think there was only 2 Paralympic races I was a part of. There was one was at the Europeans, the second one was at the anniversary games. So it would have been nice to get a few more opportunities to try it out, but luckily, yeah. So it was about here. My concentration went for a split second, and then I pulled it back, and I think that's where you see I slowly started to come away. I didn't expect it to be like that, to be honest with you. I expected it to be a real tussle up right up to the line.
Did you?
Yeah.
You talk about your concentration going for, must have been, what, a millisecond?
Oh, it was a very slight. So, I mean, a lot of your races, you're meant to focus on yourself completely, but it's very hard, you know, when you're in the mix of a race and somebody's here or somebody's there, you just react to it. And, yeah, there's a point where your concentration just goes and you realise that you're in front, and it's obviously it's the Paralympic final, so... Yeah, and then, because I think I kind of felt that I'd pulled away here. I mean, it's probably like less than half a metre, but you do feel it. And then I thought, oh, I'm in the lead. And then I thought, no, bring yourself back, keep pushing, push to the line, you know, it's not done yet. And yeah, that's where I managed to apply a bit more force.
And you say it's totally different to London of 4 years ago. And what I think people don't realise about you is it was only in May of that year in London 2012 that you had your first international race. You broke the world record a month after that, and then in September of that year you were winning Paralympic gold. I mean, it is an incredible story, isn't it, of finding something you could do, and not only do well but do better than anybody else.
Yeah, well, I had an international race in 2010. I think it was the BT Paralympic World Cup up actually here in Manchester. So but that year was my first year where I kind of started to run a bit faster, I guess. I'd been given a great coaching setup, you know, British Athletics. The setup there was insane, you know. They set me up with a really great coach who I've been working with, again, for the last 6 months, you know, along with the help of Michael Kamel in Loughborough. But, you know, it speaks, you know, volumes of how good a setup we have here. And you see that with the guys that are about to get off the plane in an hour's time. You know, there's a lot of medals on that plane. And,
oh, my goodness, you know, there are. Tell us about David Beckham, because you met him some years ago, and he's kind of now... You were inspired by him, he's inspired by you now.
Yeah, it was... I remember that day. I managed to go to Euro 2000, and, yeah, we were in the team hotel. And it was awesome. All the players came past. They had an option of coming in. A few of them did for a little while. But David Beckham spent by far the longest time with me. And my mum wasn't a huge fan of him, actually. But after that, she was like, you know what? This guy's a really nice guy.
She didn't like him.
Well, she wasn't a big football fan in that degree. She was more impressed about seeing Kevin Keegan, who was an old...
I remember him.
Fan. Yeah. So she was a big Liverpool supporter. So, yeah, he was a big hero to her. So David Beckham wasn't as big a deal to her at that point. So, yeah, but he was amazing with me. Pulled out a training T-shirt, signed it for me. I still got that in my bedroom somewhere. And yeah, I actually managed to meet him, I think it was about 2 years ago as well, at a Sainsbury's event. So it was awesome.
Well, what's great is he's inspired you, and now you're in a position where you're inspiring loads of people, loads of watching this morning thinking, I want to follow in your footsteps. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Jonnie. Great to meet you. Thank you very much indeed.